Client is a bit late, but he's arriving here shortly. While we're waiting, let me just tell you a bit about my client. Okay, his name is Mr. Malaysia. He's 57 years old, very independent. Mr. Malaysia is very pan-Asian. He comes from a very multiracial background, and I think he'll be perfect for your show. Malaysia is a bit late. Classic Malaysia. Malaysia is always late. Let me just call him for you. Don't mind, huh? Hello? Malaysia. Hey, you on the way? You're coming now? Coming now. 5 minutes more. 5 minutes more. Okay. Where are you actually? Are you at the traffic light? Stadium Putra, turn right. You're there, right? Yeah. You're nearby, right? You're gonna come soon, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bye. See you. Bye. He just woke up. I'll come back. So sorry, my client is almost here. He's gonna arrive now. So sorry.
Sorry, lambat. Sorry, lambat. Sorry.
Why are you late?
Oh, jam tadi. There was a jam. There's a jam that rain, hujan. Tree came down. So flooded. The bus terbalik. Motorbike in the longkang.
People died. Oh.
Yeah. Cat
also died.
Cat ran across the road. Not cat Steven, just cat. Then it's this. But sorry, sorry, tak apa. Okay, anyway. Makan? Makan? Don't makan already. I stopped by, I bought some makan. Then you makan. Leong, you want to makan? Okay. So you guys. Okay. Aju! Makan! Siapa dia? Depan. Okay. Bye.
Yes.
Okay. Makan?
Makan. Yes. Okay. Can you just tell the director, what are your strengths? What are Malaysia's strengths? What is so great about Malaysia?
Okay. First thing.
Can you not do that?
Oh.
Sorry.
I speak 4 languages. 4. I show you. Aneh! I want to tapau chapati makan later.
4 languages. High. One more thing, I'm sure in the show business, you need people who are really hardworking. It's not an easy job. I'm sure you agree. And therefore, my man Malaysia is one of the most hardworking people you will ever find. He's very hardworking.
Jom, minum. You minum mana? Have you minum? Did you minum mana? Belum minum lagi. Kita minum.
Minum? You just makan.
That one arrival makan. Now, before we start, minum. Aneh!
So that's how Malaysia rolls. He likes everybody to eat and drink, because when you eat you must drink, and then together we have a more harmonious working. So hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host Adibah, Noor.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, and a very good evening. Thank you for making it through the jam and everything. Round of applause to all of you for being here tonight. Yeah. Welcome to Know Malaysia is to Laugh Malaysia. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for buying the tickets. Yeah. And for those of you who are here with free tickets, thanks for freeing your time and be here. Thank you. We appreciate it all the same. This is such a lovely place to perform. I remember performing here about 7 years ago in 2007. It was one song competition called Anugerah Juara Lagu. I was singing right here. Maybe not the same stage because different contractor. So I sang that song. And I won that competition. And thank you. And I have not sung here ever since.
Sing lah, sing something.
Michael Virapan, everybody!
You should sing something.
Don't lah. It's kurang ajar. It's not my show. It's not my show, Mike.
Harith won't mind. He won't mind. He's late. He won't know lah. He won't know.
Mike, I respect and love Harith. This is not my show. I'm just supposed to be the MC.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. No,
Mike,
no
you are a jazz maestro. You jazz. That's the song I sang. That's the song I won right here. But I cannot do it. No way.
Yeah.
I am not prepared to sing, Mike. I have not psyched myself up. You know how a performer needs to psych yourself up. I have only put in my mind to be the MC. Kau terlalu istimewa, kasih dan sayangmu terpancar seikhlas, tiada batasan terus membara, terkilan rasa jiwa, ingin ku lihatmu dewasa, apa daya Tuhan lebih menyayangimu, tak tertanggung rindu mendengar suaramu, tawa mengusik jiwa. Kau terlalu istimewa, kasih dan sayangmu terpancar seikhlas, tiada batasan terus membara, ingin ku lihatmu dewasa, apa daya Tuhan lebih Thank you. That, Mike. Thank you so much. Dah, duduk. Not my show. So, are we ready to roll the show? Okay, monstrous voice. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, he is a doctor by day and a comedian by night. Please put your hands together for Dr. Jason Leong!
All right, Stadium Putra comedy fans, Malaysians in the house, make some noise! All right, thank you so much. Of course, just now, Adibah. Round of applause for Adibah. What a legend. Round of applause for Adibah. Fantastic, thank you. Now, of course, just now, Adibah mentioned that I'm a doctor. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are not making this up. This is not a joke. Besides doing stand-up comedy, I'm also a full-time practicing medical doctor in Kuala Lumpur, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay. No need to clap one. This one, government doctor, no money, that's why I'm here. Help out lah. But yeah, a lot of people always ask me, say, hey, Jason, you're a doctor, why you want to do stand-up comedy? Doctor is steady job, steady income. Why stand-up comedy? And the reason I say I like to do stand-up comedy, because stand-up comedy allows me to show off. Tai sai, show off, tayang, tunjuk terror. I like to show off. Like a few months ago, I was outside and I saw an uncle who was limping, okay? Now, this was how the uncle was limping. I show you, he limped like this, very sad. Uncle limping. Limping and limping, dragging his leg, limping and limping. So I told my friends, I want to show off. I told my friends, hey, guys, check this out. You see that guy there limping? I, with my medical knowledge, I don't have to examine his leg. I know there can only be 3 things wrong with that man's leg. Number 1, he could have polio. Number 2, muscular dystrophy. Or number 3, nerve problem of the leg. Wow, show off. So when the guy came close, I said, hey, guys, check this out. Excuse me, uncle, can I ask you, what is wrong with your leg? Show off. And the uncle said, just now I stepped on shit. Tak jadi. Nowadays, the crime rate is so high right now. Like a few months ago, I saw a crime that was so horrendous, it can only happen in Kuala Lumpur. I saw a snatch theft, ladies and gentlemen, a mugging, okay? I saw a lady's purse was snatched by a thief. And as the thief was running away with the purse was snatched by another thief. And of course, I saw it happen right in front of my own eyes, right? The poor lady was like, help, I'm being robbed, help me. It happened right in front of me, and I reacted in a very Malaysian way because I'm proud to be Malaysian. So I used my Malaysian superpower. I make dono. That is our Malaysian super. Malaysians, other people don't know. Malaysians, we can know something, and then I don't know how we can make dono, you know. Malaysians can manufacture ignorance. And in bahasa Melayu, you call it buat tak tahu, right? You can make the dono, you know. So again, the poor lady was like, help, I'm being robbed, help me. And I make dono. I was like, then again, she screamed even louder, help, I'm being robbed, help me. At that moment, I cannot tahan anymore. So I immediately took out my phone, took a photo. And I upload on Facebook. Pity her, nobody help her. Oh, you all clap for that, really? And of course, whenever I tell that story, most people laugh and I'm very grateful. But whenever I tell that story, my wife got upset. Because my wife was like, why you didn't help me? I'm your wife. Right now, one last thing I want to share with you guys before I go. I am proud to say I'm very stingy. And the reason why I'm stingy is because of my upbringing, okay? My mother made me a very stingy person. Because when I was young, I wanted to buy a video game, a very expensive video game. So I went out to Mama and said, Ma, can you buy me this video game for me? It was 100 ringgit. Now, and most parents who are not insane or crazy, they will say things like, that is too expensive, we cannot afford, buy something else. My mother, very Chinese. My mother looked at the price tag, 100 ringgit, and she says, this video game is so expensive. You want me to sell my backside? I'm like, oh my God, Ma, I love you. But who wants to buy your backside? And why is it that every time you have a financial situation, the first thing you do is sell your backside? Surely there are other things you can do besides selling your backside. Like, I don't know, sell my brother, you know what I'm saying? And of course, as a kid, I did the math, I did the calculation. I was like, hey, this video game is only 100 ringgit. You already want to sell your backside one time. How did you afford to buy us a house? The house is 100,000 ringgit. How many times have you sold your backside, Ma? And at that moment, my father butt into the conversation, and my father made it worse. Because my father was like, Jason, you don't make fun of your mother like that. You have no idea how hard she worked her ass off to buy the house. Oh. I'm like, oh my God, my father's my mother's pimp. He is literally a pimp daddy. That's why when it comes to finances, my parents very anal, you know. But that strategy works because nowadays I'm very stingy. And my mother always tells me, Jason, you must use the same strategy on your children. Sell backside. But I have no children right now. But I can imagine one day when my child runs up to me and says, Daddy, can you buy me this iPad 50? And at that moment, I can imagine my mother looking at us from a distance. And my mother, grey hair, wrinkly face, jade earring. I can imagine my mother there going, and at that moment, I will use the same strategy, sell backside. I will look at my child, his or her eyes. I'm going to say, this iPad 50 is so expensive. You want me to sell your grandmother's backside? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. My name is Leong. You guys are fantastic. Thank you. Good night. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep the show going. The next comedian is one of the funniest guys ever. He is from India. He is an ambassador of laughter, spreading the love and joy of comedy all around the world. He is the funniest comedian in India. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a very warm Malaysian round of applause for Papa CJ!
Apa kabar, Malaysia? Make some noise! Now, to know Malaysia is to laugh Malaysia. The whole idea of the show is to bring us together as a country. In India, when we want to bring people together, we do a little bit of yoga. So I'm going to ask you all to join me in a small yoga exercise. You will get to know the people around you much better. Everybody, come on, get your hands up in front. Join your thumbs in your pointing fingers. Take both your arms to the sides. Now slowly rub the nipples of the person next to you. We all know each other a little bit better now, don't we? It has been an absolute privilege to travel all over the world and represent India doing stand-up comedy. But I will tell you this, we have problems as Indians because I will travel somewhere in the world and somebody will say, "Oh, you're Indian." I know what Indians are like. I've seen Slumdog Millionaire. Right? That's like me saying I know what the English are like because I've seen Mr. Bean. You know, I've been learning about your country and you're quite different from us. For example, in Malaysia, when you want to call somebody, you say this. Are you serious? In the rest of the world, that is sexual harassment. And we think slightly differently. For example, our neighbor is Pakistan. We have been fighting with them for the last 65 years over Kashmir because we believe that we are the Bhumiputras of Kashmir. Right? Thousands of people have lost their lives over that land. Your neighbor is Singapore. What do you fight over? Chicken rice. And you know, Singapore is a very strange country. In Singapore, it is illegal for you to urinate in an elevator. How did they come up with this law? Right? How many people were doing it on a regular basis? I've never walked into a lift and said, "Oh, sir, what button should I press for you?" No, I've just come here to take a piss. I actually went to the US. I was doing this TV show called Last Comic Standing. Give me a cheer if you've heard of it. Massive reality show, 3,000 contestants. I was representing India, and I got into the last 10. But what I found really amusing was how excited all the American comedians were. Oh my God, 10 million people watch this program. I was like, dude, I come from India. If I open my bathroom window, 10 million people will show up live. But you know, as intelligent as Indians are, sometimes we do stupid things as well. We're not very logical. Like in Chennai, there's this hospital called Agarwal Hospital. Now, because it was built by an eye doctor, he made the entrance to this hospital in the shape of a massive eye. What if he was a gynecologist? Huh? I myself come from a city in India called Calcutta. I remember taking driving lessons in London, and this instructor asks me, he says, you Indians, why don't you drive in a straight line? I said, listen, in England, you drive on the left of the road. In Calcutta, we drive on what is left of the road. And then, you know, he started making fun of my country. Now, I am very proud of being Indian. I defend our culture wherever I go. And he says, oh, you Indians, you're so strange. You have these arranged marriages, these arranged weddings. I said, boss, have you been for an Indian wedding? 3,000 people, 200 different functions, 40 kinds of food. You don't know who's coming, who's going, whose feet you're touching. An English wedding, 45 guests. These are the nameplates. This is the menu. We'll practice walking down the aisle. We'll practice the speech. We don't have arranged marriages. You do. And he says, oh, whatever you say, I'm just coming to India to relax and do yoga. I said, yoga? In India, nobody does yoga. We just made it up to make white people look stupid. But you see, the thing is that I think the reason I'm single is because I don't understand romance in nowadays generation. For example, men under the age of 30. Give me a cheer. Somebody who cheered here. Sir, you're under 30. What is your name, brother? Can we have some lights on this guy? Who are the guys under 30? Let's have a face in. Let me ask you, sir. What is the most romantic thing you have ever done for a woman? He's had to think for 30 seconds. This is the problem. I don't understand romance in today's generation. What is your name, sir? Hans. Of course you are Hans. The famous Hans in the front row. I don't understand romance in today's generation. In our time, you got flowers, you got chocolates, you wrote her a poem. But by far, the most romantic thing you could do for a woman in my generation was to give her a compilation tape. A mixtape. Do you know what a mixtape is? Hans, in our generation, we had something called an audio cassette. We put music on that. If you came from a poor family like I did, you had an audio cassette player. If you came from a rich family, you had an audio cassette recorder. That has two slots, one where you put the music, one where you put the music on which you'll record, the blank tape. And it wasn't just that you could move some files and make that CD. You had to call up all her friends and find out what the songs were that she loved. Then you had to call your friends and find out if they had those songs. Calling your friends wasn't easy either. In our time, we had those phones on which you had to dial. And if you came from a poor family like I did, on that phone, your mother had put a lock. If your romance was the kind of romance that Hans had, you would get your girlfriend a 60-minute cassette. If your romance was like mine, you would get her a 90-minute cassette. Because in our generation, size did matter. You would time every single song. You had to make sure there was exactly 45 minutes on both sides of the tape. You could not have a half a song. You could not have a gap in the tape. A gap in the tape was a gap in commitment. If you had a tape recorder where the rewind button would not work, you would turn it around, you would fast forward it, you would turn it around, and you would hope as hell you were in the right place. If you had a tape recorder like I did where the rewind and the fast forward buttons did not work, what would you do? Exactly, in our generation we had something called a pencil. We used to use that for an activity called writing. We would stick that pencil in that tape, we would turn it around, and we would feel like ninjas. I made such a compilation tape for the love of my life. I put on it every single song that she loved. The song that was playing in the coffee shop when I first met her. The song that we first danced on. She loved that tape so much she cried when she heard it. We made love to that tape for the first time. It had very fast numbers. She loved that song so much she played it the night before the wedding when she married my best friend. But the bright side, ladies, I'm single. Malaysia, you have been absolutely brilliant. Before I leave you, on behalf of India, I would like to invite you, come visit our country. We are extremely hospitable. We will look after you. We will feed you. We will give you a good time. But just one piece of advice, don't mess with the Indians. Because we come from the land of the Kama Sutra. We can screw you in more ways than you can count. My name is Papa CJ. God bless you all. Have a good night.
That was Papa CJ. Now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the godfather of Malaysian stand-up comedy, Harith Iskander.
Stadium Putra. Wow. I'm not going to come out here like the other comedians and say, make some noise, because you guys are doing that on your own. Thank you very much. Thank you. Stadium Putra was built during the Commonwealth Games in 98. And in this stadium, right here in this stadium, is where they held the gymnastics. Okay, so you know gymnastics, right? They jump, they stand, and that's gymnastics. Not only did they have the gymnastics, but they had the rhythmic gymnastics. Immediately people are like, rhythmic what? It's the same reaction when people talk about lawn bowls. Malaysian, we don't know what is it. But we got a team taking part, so it's okay. Rhythmic gymnastics, let me show you what rhythmic gymnastics is this. Where they make you do something impossible. Put your leg behind your head, and then, not enough. Got ribbon. Must have ribbon, leg, head, ribbon. Not only that, this is rhythmic. Lean on elbow, leg on top here, and then play football. Play football. Play football. See, what kind of sport is this? This is the most, already you are doing impossible things, and then you go to tamba, something that got nothing to do with what you're doing. It's like having the 100 meters, go, run, and then stop, and then do knitting. And then run again. You're enjoying that, Michael? You do realize your microphone is on, Mike? No, it's okay. I want to hear you laugh. I tried rhythmic gymnastics once. I did. That wasn't a joke. I tried it once. I tried it once. I had a routine. Let me just... May I show... Mike, you got some music? This is the routine that I had. You know, I was like... Okay, no. It wasn't that good. Anyway, I was talking about my show has not started. I'm talking about the Commonwealth Games. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I actually hosted the closing ceremony of the Commonwealth Games. Closing ceremony I hosted. It was held at the big stadium outside Stadium Bukit Jalil, and they had a Western artist. The biggest group in that time was the Cause. Does anybody remember the Cause? Yeah, this was the Cause. You know, this was the Cause. I was hanging out with those three ladies and that fella. I don't know who that fella was. I think the brother or something. But this is the singer over here, the 1 second. She damn hot, you know. I remember I was backstage, I was hanging out backstage, the Cause were all hanging out backstage, and I was doing the Malaysian thing. I look at them, I like, I just look. The whole night I didn't do anything. Because you know, Malaysian, we're a bit scared. My Saleh girl, we're a bit scared. But I was hanging. But anyway, a funny thing happened. Ella came out and sang the theme song for the Commonwealth Games, Standing in the Eyes of the World. After she came out, I came out onto the stage and I did a very Malaysian thing. I said to everyone in the stadium, I said, "Hi everyone, that was Ella. Are you enjoys?" Because that's Ella's line. That's Ella's line. Are you enjoys? I didn't know that it was being televised to the whole world. 4 billion people heard Are You Enjoys. My auntie from England called up. Your English isn't very good. I believe it's, are you enjoying yourself? That was a small mistake. Did you all watch the World Cup football? Yes, Malaysia, we love watching sports that we can't play properly. No, not to say can't play properly. Not to say can't play properly. Let me just get a bit serious. It's not that Malaysia we cannot play properly. Basically, Asians in general, not that good in World Cup. Yes, Korea was there, Japan was there. But it's all about genetics. It's all about genetics. Let me I prove it to you. I prove it to you. If you look at the jungle, the law of the jungle, okay? Law of jungle. If you're in the jungle and you have strong arms and you need to swing from tree to tree, genetically, you're a monkey. It's genetics. If you have big eyes and you need to see in the dark, genetically, you're an owl. If you have big teeth and you need to bite and chomp, genetically, you are yeah. So it's genetic. Malaysian, we don't have the teeth. That's why we cannot play very well. We cannot play very well. But no, seriously, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud of being Malaysian. Here's the thing about stand-up comedy. I am up here as a Malaysian making fun of Malaysians because that's what we do. I am proud of being Malaysian. I was born, my parents brought me up to be very proud of being Malaysian. Very quickly, my show has not begun. Let me quickly tell you about my parents. Very quickly, very short story, and then I will start my show, I promise. Dato' Rozabil, how come Harith not just started the show? Talking here all the history story. Dato', I'm going to start soon. My father, my late father, he was actually in the army, Colonel Musa bin Muhammad, and he met my mother in the Congo in Africa. Now, how did he meet? That's my mother, and when she was young. That's Farida Jane Musa, her name was Jane. He met her in the Congo. Let me quickly tell you the story of how they met in 1960s, 1960 in the Congo. What happened, ladies and gentlemen, was there was a war in the Congo. United Nations sent in peacekeeping forces. My bapa, I call him bapa, my father, my bapa, was part of the Malaysian army, go to the peacekeeping forces, go to the Congo. My mother, my ma, was in New York, working as the United Nations as a secretary. They needed staff, so she flew over to the Congo. That is where they met. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here is the story interesting. Here's where the story gets interesting. My father, Malaysian, managed to tackle Mak Saleh woman in 1960. 1998, it was tough. 2014, even tougher. My bapa did it in 1960. I tell you what happened. I tell you the story. Here is what happened. It was a Saturday night. United Nations were having a little party. They want to de-stress. They had all the soldiers there, all the United Nations secretaries there. My bapa, he told me the story. When I grew up, I asked my bapa, how did you meet Ma? He told me the story. He walked into the room. The music was playing. This was the music they played in 1950. Got melody one. My papa was walking through the room, and then suddenly, across the room, he saw this beautiful English lady. So my papa decided she was the one. What he did was, he sashayed across the room. Sachet. He didn't walk. When you see the hot chick, you don't walk. Walking got no power. You cannot walk and say, hello. Cannot. He sashayed. In 1950, 1960, he sashayed. That's what he did. No, he really did that. All the other people were, siapa orang gila ni? But he knew what he was doing. Because this was the dance to tackle the white woman. He sashayed up to her, tapped her on the shoulder, and he said, excuse me, do you happen to have a plaster? You see, I seem to have scraped my knee falling for you. True story. It's a true story. I'm not even kidding. That was a classic. You can write it down. It's okay. The guy's already like... this was a different time, ladies and gentlemen. When I was young, here is a game that we played. We played this game called Dude. Now, you see people, ooh, Rosanna, you know what I'm talking about. It was not a racial game. It was a factual game. It was a reason for you to slap your brother. You sit in a car, you see a Sikh, you just whack your brother. Dude off. 1 point. There was no racial element. I used to play with my friend Jagjit. I would go to his house, I could not slap by him and his whole family. No, dude. In 1970s, there was no racial element. It was just good, clean fun. Nowadays, people in Malaysia are like, wait, they won't know. You cannot see that. You know what? Since you cannot see like that nowadays, I would suggest that we have a new game now. Nowadays, when you see, I would suggest, you see somebody with a baseball cap. You call that cap. You see somebody with a baseball cap, you just slap your brother. Cap off. Okay, 1 point. You see somebody with a cap sideways. You slap your brother, cap sideways, 2 points. When you see somebody who is above 30 years old with a cap sideways, you go to that person and you slap him. Hey, what are you doing, stupid lah? Don't, you're 30 lah, come on, stop it lah, brother. When you actually watch television nowadays TV, I tell you, I don't watch much television. I do watch a few shows. But now every time I turn on the TV, there's a cooking competition. Food competition, Master Chef. Do you all watch Master Chef? We watch it so much, we got our own Master Chef Malaysia. Now, have you watched Master Chef? The thing is, you think about it. Master Chef is a cooking show. So, on television, you are basing your show on something that you have to taste and smell, which you at home can't do. But they make it so dramatic. Have you seen it? Oh, MasterChef is so dramatic. First of all, they have all the contestants, and then Gordon Ramsay come out. All right, everyone, your task today is to cook this. And then got one cover, and underneath the cover is the surprise. What are they going to cook? What are they going to cook? Your task today is to cook an egg. That's all, one telur, that's all. Cook an egg, and then the contestants go mental. Oh my God, I've got to cook an egg. Oh my God. Oh my God. Then they stop and they talk to the camera. Oh my God, when Gordon Ramsay lifted the cover off and I saw it's an egg, I thought, oh my God, I've got to cook an egg. But they do it so dramatic that even you at home, you get involved. Oh my God, they're going to have to cook an egg. Can you imagine? Oh wow. And they make the whole 1 hour episode about cooking that egg. Then Gordon Ramsay comes out. All right, you have 15 minutes to cook this egg in any way that you want. Your time starts now. And all the contestants run forward. They run forward. They take the egg. They take the egg, and they break it. They break it, and they start cooking. And then while they're cooking, they stop and they talk to the camera. So when Gordon Ramsay said go, I ran forward and got my egg. And I decided, you know what? I'm just going to do scrambled. I like scrambled. I'm going to do scrambled. And then they come back and then the 3 judges all meet in the corner and they make comments. Well, it looks like he's really spoiling that egg. Yeah, he's got a piece of he's got the shell inside. He's got the shell. Wow, they make comment. And then you at home like, oh my God, he got a shell inside. And then they go. Then they show the clock. Oh my God, you have 3 minutes left. Oh my God, you're going to put the egg in the oil, and then put the shell in the oil. Then they stop talking, and then the people get emotional. The contestant get emotional. Oh my God, so the shell got in my egg, and I was thinking, not now. Oh my God. And then Gordon Ramsay called the end. Finish, no more egg. Stop, your time stops now. And then they have to they put on, and oh my God. And then they call the contestants forward. All right, Angela, could you bring your egg forward, please? And Angela comes, the hand shaking, and she puts down her plate. On her plate, 1 egg. And then Gordon Ramsay comes forward, and he they take the fork, and then they lift the egg slowly. They look under the egg. They look under it. Then they gently, they cut a little bit of the egg. Then they put it in the mouth. Then they take the napkin. Then they make the comment. When they make the comment, it's like the end of the world. Angela. This egg, what you've done with this egg, I'm not sure how to put this, but this egg is, and then they cut to the contestant talking. So Gordon Ramsay was about to tell me what the egg was like, and a sweat was dripping down my head. And even I'm at home going, oh my God, what is this egg like? What is this egg like? And they cut back to Gordon Ramsay, this egg. This egg is, and I'm thinking, what's the egg? What's the egg like? Even the egg is going, what am I? What am I? What am I? This egg is... Cut. Commercial break. Commercial break. Cut to commercial break. Hai Kak Joya, kau buat apa? Oh, saya baru basuh baju. Baru basuh baju, amboi putihnya. Ya, putih dengan menggunakan ni. Oh, mana apa dapat? Dengan putih saya dapat menggunakan 15 sahaja. Jangan bukan. Kak Joya, kau pergi mana? Saya nak pergi beli. So you go through 15 commercials, then they come back to the master chef, and the egg is still there. This egg. This egg is... This egg is perfect. Oh! This egg is perfect. 45 minutes. One egg. That was the kind of shows we get nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. When I grew up, we had a different type of show. We had shows where, first of all, you listen to the themes of the show, the musical theme of the show, you would instantly recognize it. Anyway, I just want to check out how many people here are above the age of, let's say, 35. Say, hey! All right, those of you in 35, I want to play a little game with you. I'm gonna get Michael and the band to play a couple of themes, and I want you to shout out what these themes are. So, Michael, hit it. $6 Million Man. MacGyver. Charlie's Angels. This is the one theme that when you heard it, you knew instantly what it was all about. This is the one theme that all it required was a drum intro. Yeah, come on, Michael Verapon and the band. Rocking it. No, but seriously, music is a big part of Malaysian life, I think. That's why Malaysians, we like music. Well, that's why I had to call Adibah Noor, and we sang that song just now. I was so excited. Malaysians, we love music. How many of you know the musical Les Miserables? Oh, I'm sorry, I mispronounced it. Sorry. Les Miserables. That's a Malaysian style. Les Miserables is a musical where the story of this man, Jin Valjan. Jin Valjan is like a prisoner and he let go from. But the prison warden officer, Javed chased Jin Valjan down lah. Chased him down the whole musical. Javed follow and chase Jin Valjan, want to catch him for doing something wrong. Anyway, at one point, Jin Valjan got the chance to kill Javed. Got a pisau, want to kill Javed. But Jin Valjan, good man, he don't kill Javed, he let Javed go. So Javed, turmoil. Why this man I don't like, I hate him, I chase him, why he let me go? So he turmoil. So in musical, when you turmoil, you go and stand at the edge of somewhere very tall. You turmoil and you stand at the edge of somewhere very tall. And then Javed begin to sing this song. Now if you listen to the song, he's actually singing, but there's only one note in the whole song. To those of you who know this song, you know the song. Most of the people here don't know the Javed suicide song. Let me show you, or let me let you hear what the Javed suicide song sound like. Who was this man? What sort of devil is he to have me caught in this trap and choose to let me go free? It was his hour at last to put a seal on my fate. Wipe out the past and wash me clean of the slate. All it would take was a flick of his knife. Vengeance was his and he gave me back my life. Like that. Don't clap. Only one note. I can do that. But when you see the song, you also feel, you feel because, wow, he very drama. You feel, you accept the fact that he's singing one note by himself. You accept the fact. But here's the problem. The same thing doesn't happen in Malay drama. Melayu drama, they have the same type of scene where somebody talk to themselves. But Malaysia, we don't. Have you ever seen a Malay drama where there's a man at the bus stop? He's walking to the bus stop. Nobody at the bus stop. Suddenly, he starts talking to himself. Ish. Mana pula si bus driver ni? Dahlah aku berdiri ke sendiri. Nak lambat ni nak pergi kerja. Ish. Kalau aku lambat, nanti bos marah. Dahlah bos tu benci dengan aku. And that moment, somebody else is walking by. Hey, Dan. Kau pergi mana? Aku tunggu bas ni. That person is also, And then that person starts talking to himself about the person he saw talking to himself. Apa dia tunggu kat bas seorang diri tu? Dia tak pergi kerja ke? And then this person continues talking. Kalau aku lambat, nanti kena buang kerja. Bos aku tak bersimpati langsung. Kalau aku buang kerja, aku balik, nanti bini aku marah. Dia kata, kenapa tak ada kerja? Apa aku nak jawab? Ish. Mana pula? And then you watch this whole scene, 12 minutes. The man talking to himself. And you wonder why they do this. You wonder to yourself, why do they do this? And I say to myself, you know what? You can have the same scene. But why don't you javert it a bit? You know, I promise you, if you javert this scene will be so much more dramatic and interesting. First of all, you'll have the man walking to the bus stop. Ish. Mana pula si bus driver ini? Dahlah aku berdiri sendiri. Nak pergi kerja aku dah lambat. Apa kan jadi kalau aku lewat? Tentu kena marah dengan bosman aku. Dahlah dia benci denganku. Dan, kau pergi mana? Aku tunggu bas ni. Okey. Kalau lambat, apa kan jadi? Dibuang kerja, tak ada simpati. Aku buat muka malu. Kepada siapa Aku mengadu. Apa kan jadi bila balik ke bini? Dia kan marah, tak sesimpati. Tak ada kerja lagi. Apa guna hidup? Biar keluar pisau dan bunuh diri. Bas dah sampai. Nasib baik. Kalau tidak, aku bunuh diri lah. Okay. No, seriously, this would be an amazing scene for a Melayu drama. Let me tell you when I was young. When I was young, I grew up, I went to school in a school called St. John's Primary and Secondary School. St. John's Institution. We got some Johannans here? Yes. That was a different time. That was a different time. Those days, the teachers were different. I had teachers like Mrs. Kang. This teacher would take great pleasure in caning us. And we took it. We took it. It was a pride and joy. Nowadays, we cannot cane. We cannot cane. Not only, we are heading in the direction of Sweden. You know in Sweden, kan? In Sweden, you cannot hit your children. We know this, kan? Because we had a Malaysian couple, pergi kat Sweden, entah, just acting like a Malaysian thing. Kau tak sembahyang. Masuk jail. Because in Sweden, you cannot hit your children. This is the Western world, macam ni, you cannot hit the children. In New Zealand, you cannot hit your children. How do they discipline children in this country? How do they do this? Let me tell you how they talk to the children. In Sweden, you are the budak kecil, 3 years old, you climbing the chair, you climbing the table, bahaya, dangerous. Your parents do what? They talk to you. Timmy, don't climb tables. Timmy, don't climb table, you will fall. Fall. Don't stop. So I didn't touch you. I asked you. Don't climb table. Fall. Your head will get concussion. You will fall. The child sitting there, what the hell my parent talking about? This is the Mat Saleh style. We are Malaysian. In Malaysia, we don't have this style. Kan? In Malaysia, you are 3 years old. You climb the table. What do your parents say? You want to climb? You climb, you fall, you die. Yeah, you die. In fact, I hope you die. Fall lah, fall. See if I care. You know how expensive you are? Your pampers, how much? Not yet even education yet. And then when the child climb, jatuh. See? Stupid. No matter which parent is talking, it's always the other parent's fault. You see your son, stupid. Follow your side of the family. Bodoh. I asked him not to climb, stupid. Stop crying. Stop crying. Stand up. Stop crying, stupid. Stop crying. I said stop crying. In Malaysia, a slap can stop a crying. Malaysian children macam tak payah cakap, just That's the Malaysian style. In Sweden, all the kanak-kanak pergi sekolah, tak study, tak kisah apa, they come back with the exam results. Straight away they show the parents, Mommy, yeah? It's not a Swedish accent, I don't even know how I got that. I got my exam results. Oh, let me see your exam results. Oh, you failed all your subjects. You know what the Swedish parent asks? Did you do your best? Did you try your hardest? Did you give it 100%? Yes, Mommy, I did my very best. That's all I ask. I don't mind if you grow up to become a rubbish collector, as long as you are the best rubbish collector. Yes, Western parent macam ni. That's why in Sweden, very clean. Very clean. A lot of good rubbish collectors in Sweden. In Malaysia, not so clean. Because no Malaysian parent ask their children to grow up to become the best rubbish collector. Ingat tak when we did our exams? Huh? You do the exam, dapat results, you go home, you hide your results. 3.5 weeks you hide under the bed lah, until your parents, hey, where's your results? Where's your results? Huh? Your exam finished how long ago? Where's your results? Then you bring out the result, you bring out the result, you bring out the result. No matter what you got, no matter you bring out. Huh, let me have a look at it. Let me have. Okay, science. Huh, science. 98% out of a possible 100. What happened to the other 2 marks? Huh? How come you didn't get 100? Huh? How come your neighbor Kenny can get 114? How come you cannot? Stupid. Kena. We all have that neighbor that overachieve. Every one of us got that one, you know, the neighbor that you eat. You really eat because the neighbor like always try and do better than you eat. Malaysia have that neighbor, Singapore, but always want to do better than you. Always. Seriously. No, I know. We make jokes about Singapore. Singapore make joke about us. Any Singaporeans came out to the show tonight, say, hey, oh God, because you know this is where the better comedy exists. But this is where I talk about, this is why I say I'm proud of being Malaysian. And ladies and gentlemen, seriously, we make jokes about it, but this is what my parents taught me. I told you, although my mother was from England, she came here, she became very Malaysian. My mother was Mak Saleh, I told you, Farida J, she was very Malaysian. I tell you how Malaysian she was. When I was young, aku suka main bola. I play football in the house, I break window. Pachang! My mother, although she's Mak Saleh, when I broke a window, she very simple. Harith, come here, look, come here, look, somebody. Did you see how fast that was? Let me slow it down for you, slow motion, huh? Harith, come here, look, somebody is so fast. You can't even slow it down. She didn't even finish her sentence. She didn't say, Harith, come here, look, somebody broke the window. Who was it? Was it you? No. She compressed. Do you know why she compressed it? Because she knows, as a Malaysian child, I'm already on standby to kena slap. I'm standing by. I'm going to get slapped. Malaysian child, you do it or not, you will get slapped. You are the closest to the crime, you get slapped. If you're not the one, you go and slap your brother later. That's the Malaysian style. So she slapped me before I'm standing by. When you slap before you stand by, it hurts even more. My mother took it an extra step further, ladies and gentlemen. My mother used to work at Dunlop Malaysia Industries Berhad. She would go to work at 6:45 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. My mother would wake me up. Harith, yes, Ma, I'm going to work now. Okay, Ma, bye. What? Why? I couldn't say 6:01. I'm going to work. While I'm gone, you're going to do something. I won't be here. I give you in advance. My mother. By the way, both my parents have passed away, ladies and gentlemen. My parents have passed away. My parents passed away in 2010. My father passed away in February 2010. 3 weeks later, my mother passed away in March 2010. But I know that tonight, they are up there right now, watching me, and they are laughing up there, and they are very proud of what I'm doing tonight. Thank you for clapping. Thank you for clapping. And you see, Malaysian, you clap. When I say they are up there, you all know what I'm talking about, because Malaysian, we are spiritual people. Kita percaya the up there part. I told this story to an American once. When I said my parents are up there, you know what the American said? Oh my God. You mean like ghosts? Oh my God. You mean Malaysians, you believe in ghosts? Oh my God, I'm mentally traumatized. Malaysians, you believe in ghosts? What a stupid question. That is a stupid question. Every Malaysian believes in ghosts. Is there any Malaysian here who does not believe in ghosts? Put up your hand. You, sir, you don't believe in ghosts? You put up your hand. I saw you put up your hand. You don't believe in ghosts. All right. Tonight you go and sleep in the cemetery alone. How? Every Malaysian. I tell you why every Malaysian believes in ghosts. Because every Malaysian in this room has personally had a spiritual experience and seen the ghosts. Or if you have not, you know somebody personally who has seen a ghost. True or not? True or not? Look at the person next to you, they've seen a ghost. If you're not, you have it. They've seen. It's like that. That is why Malaysians, when we see the American horror movie, we are not scared. American cannot make horror movie to scare us. Annabelle, the latest horror movie, Annabelle. Have you seen? Oh, with the doll, with the big eyes. Ooh. Malaysians see this like, hey, stupid. Why you buy a doll like that? So ugly. Who the hell buy a teddy bear or something? Bodoh. Straight away, we don't believe. We don't like to see Hollywood horror movies. When we watch Thai and Korean horror movies, then we scared. Because Thais and Koreans are Asian. They know how to scare us. Who the Thai with the hair down there and then the walking. Oh, Malaysian, we see, oh. But I noticed something about horror movies. Have you noticed something about horror movies? Like this stupid American horror movie. There's someone walking inside the house and the house is very quiet. And they're like, hello? Hello, is anybody there? Hello? And then for the camera, you can see behind the person, this thing with the black hair. You see it? You know? Like, hello? You watching, you're like, whoa! But the person inside the room, when he hears the when he turns, they always turn very slowly. Hello? Is anybody there? Hello? Was someone there? I don't know about you. But if I'm walking in a house and I'm hello, and I hear a whoosh, I mean, what? Who wish behind me? Who is that? Because Malaysian, we believe. We are spiritual, we believe. Which is why, ladies and gentlemen, after the incredible tragedy of 370, when a bunch of people showed up at the KLIA airport with bamboo binoculars and coconut satellites, Malaysians were not surprised. We were embarrassed, yes, but we were not surprised. No Malaysian said to himself, who are they and what are they doing there? We know what they're doing there. But every Malaysian said to himself, hey, you want to talk to the spirit world? Why you have to go KLIA? CNN is there, BBC is there. Why you cannot talk at home? Alamak, malu. Seriously. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me very quickly tell you this one story, which I love telling this one story. When I grew up, I had a Malayali mother and a Malay father, and I was very normal. And I remember the first day I went to school was in St. John's Primary in 1973. I was in Standard 1. I went to school. I sat in my class. I had my friends there. Kenny was there. Panir was there. Don was there. And then the teacher gave us a borang. Isi borang. I began to fill out this borang. I fill out the borang. Nama Harith Iskander, Kelas 1 Biru, and Sekolah, Primary Sekolah, Sekolah Rendah Kebangsaan St. John. And then came out the question, race, bangsa, race, Malay, Chinese, Indian, other. And I race, what is race? I asked my friend, Kenny, what's race? Your father, what? Your father? My father, army, colonel. Not what he do lah, his blood. Malay, you put Malay, I put Malay. So English, mana English? Chinese, Indian, other. Mana English? Kenny, where's English? I don't know. Where got English? I asked the teacher. Teacher, what? Where's England box? England, English. Why you want English? My mother from England. No, your mother not important. Oh, mother. Why mother not important? Why mother not important? You know what I did? I saw the other box, other. I put an M, other, mother. I ticked that box. That was my box. Malay ada. I bagi cikgu, teacher. Teacher, why, excuse me, Harith, why two box? I Malay ada. No, one box. I said, no, I'm two. No, you are confused. I'm confused. From age of 7 years old until 17, I'm confused. Everybody tick one box. I tick two box. Tick two box. Then when I left school, I traveled around Malaysia. Then I began to meet a lot of Malaysians. I realized a lot of Malaysians are confused. How many confused Malaysians in the room tonight? Say, hey! Half of us are confused. And it was destiny, ladies and gentlemen, that when I got married, the wife, the lady that I chose to be my wife, is also confused. My wife, very quickly, let me tell you, is Chindian, Chinese, Indian. Father Chinese, mother Indian. But she told me in school she only take one box. Sometimes she take Chinese, sometimes she take Indian, depending on her mood. I said, how do you choose? Angry with the father, take Indian. Angry with the mother, take Chinese. Oh, like that. No, because I grew up in that confused household. I told you my father was in the army. Very quickly, let me tell you, my father was in the army. He was a colonel in the army. I used to live in Ministry of Defense, Jalan Geni, Mindef there. I would walk around with my father. And my father being the colonel, everywhere he walked, when other soldiers see him, they were like, what? Tuan! They would salute my father. And my father being the colonel, when he salute back, is very minimum movement. They'd be like, Tuan! My father would be like, let's go. See, minimum, just... And that sound must come out. Everywhere my father walked, they'd be like, Tuan! Tuan! My father like that. The only time I see my father jump to attention was when a general walked by. Then my father, Tuan! Then the general will be like, and that was, I grew up in this household where my parents taught me to be a good Malaysian. And I tell you something, now that I have children, I have that responsibility to teach my kids. My first son was born 2.5 years ago in Pantai Hospital. And when I held my son in my arms, my parents had passed away by that time. When I held my son in my arms, I said thank you to my parents for bringing me up as best they could and teaching me as much as they could. And I hope to pass this on. I couldn't thank my parents then because they passed away, but I thank them in my prayers. If your parents are alive tonight, after the show, call them up. Just say thank you. They will say, hey, why are you calling me so late? Hey, shut up, I don't know, you never mind. Just say, Harith told you to say thank you. Yeah, and so the responsibilities of having a children. I've got so many responsibilities. Now I have to learn how to change the diaper, I have to buy things. First of all, I had to register my son. I had to register him. I went to the registration department in Mont Kiara there. I lined up, took a number. And after about half an hour, I got the borang. I take the borang out. I isi the borang. Nama Bapa Harith Iskander bin Musa. Nama Mak Dr. Jasmine Lim. Tempat lahir Pantai Hospital. Tarikh lahir 8 hari bulan Mac. And then came the question, bangsa anak. Malay, Chinese, Indian ada. Tick all the box lah. Malay, Chinese, Indian ada. I have to. And then I said to myself, you know what? This is amazing. My son is going to grow up extremely confused. When he goes to school and takes the box, the teacher is going to be like, "Oi, kau gila ke? Huh?" And he'll be crying. My Chinese, my father. I'll be outside the class laughing. Of course, I wouldn't do that. Of course, I would. I'm teaching my son. But then, you know what? I say to myself, ladies and gentlemen, I say to myself that in our country, where we're going through some tough times. Yeah, we're going through some tough times where we all if you follow the social media, it looks like we're all like, "Wah, yani tak suka ini, yani tak suka ni," and we're calling each other's names. But I have a feeling, if I'm looking across at the 8,000 plus people here in this room, I have a feeling, as Malaysians, we all can actually get together as one. And tonight is a proof. And I tell you why. Because tonight, you are laughing together. And I tell you what, tonight is an example of how I wish Malaysia one day will be. I hope that by the time my son grows up, this is my personal wish, I hope when he goes to school, he doesn't have to tick 4 boxes. He just ticks 1 box. Malaysian, tick that box. Thank you, good night, Assalamualaikum. To know Malaysia is to laugh. Malaysia, thank you.
Give it up for Harith Iskander! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome once again Dr. Jason Leong! Papa CJ! And the one and only